Right. Okay, I've got a story. It's about a guy called Larry. Okay. Guy called Larry. Has anybody heard of Larry before?
Yeah.
Some people might have heard this story before. Some people might not have heard this story before. If you've heard this story, just go along with it. It's a pretty cool story. If you've not heard it, get ready. It's gonna be fun. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Larry. Larry is a lobster. Okay, so Larry the lobster. See what I did there? Great. Larry the lobster. That's great. Creative writing did help me in school. So Larry the lobster. So does anybody know anything about lobsters? Who goes to a restaurant and orders lobsters? When is Sylvia, imagine you'll be the person that bring over the lobsters. When you went to a restaurant, would you order a lobster?
I don't know.
No? You don't know?
Maybe.
Maybe, okay, cool. Anybody go and order lobster?
Yeah, lobster garlic butter. Ooh.
Lobster garlic butter, okay. Okay, cool. So you know a bit about lobsters. So I don't know if you guys know about how a lobster grows. Because what do you know about a lobster's shell?
It's hot.
It's red and it's hard. Okay, cool. So it's hard. So basically, this is how a lobster grows. First of all, you have a baby lobster. So the baby lobster, on the outside of the shell is hard. The shell is tough because they don't want to be eaten by other sea-like creatures. And on the inside, it's obviously quite soft. You know when you open up a lobster, it's really hard to open up. But when you get it, it's like, oh, that's really, really nice. Imagine if the inside tasted as hard as the outside. Like nobody would be paying like $500 for like a little lobster claw. Just wouldn't happen, right? That's where I'm down. So what happens when a lobster's a baby? Obviously the shell fits. Now when the lobster gets a bit older, obviously the shell stays the same size, but the insides just keep on growing. So what happens after a period of time is that the insides are growing faster, a lot faster than what the shell, because the shell can't grow anymore. So what happens is the lobster starts to feel really tired, and the lobster starts to feel really, really uncomfortable. And it's not a really nice feeling because nobody likes to feel tired, nobody likes to feel uncomfortable, nobody likes to feel trapped in. Now the lobster's got an option there. The lobster can then go to the vet and trundle onto the vet and say, "Hey, Mr. Vet, literally my shell's too tight." And what do you think the vet would do? Yeah, the vet would give some Panadol, the vet would give some Valium, and just kind of, okay, cool, well just relax, take this Valium, take this Panadol, and then what would happen then is that lobster would never grow. But lobster decides, no, I'm not going to do that. So what a lobster does, it goes down to the seabed, it gets himself underneath a rock, and it kind of knocks itself underneath a rock. And it keeps doing this motion where it's knocking himself underneath a rock until eventually the shell will break off, and then so the lobster will feel free, so then the inside can then go further. Then it'll grow another outer shell around it. And that's really cool. The lobster's like, fucking yeah, I love life, life's really, really good. Kind of walking along, oh my god, look at the new shell, yeah, look at the shell, yeah, that's really pretty cool shell. But then after a period of time, what do you think happens?
Grows again.
It grows again, because the inside keeps growing and growing and growing, but then the outside the shell, it cannot grow. So the shell is once again trapping itself again. It's faced with the same decision again. Do I go to the vet where I know I'll be able to get some Valium, or deal with this myself, and I go, cool, let's go down to the rock, and he's banging himself against the rock, keeps banging himself against the rock. It's a bit harder this time, because the harder shell. Eventually the shell will break off, and then once again the lobster can grow again. And it carries this cycle around about 6 or 7 times over its lifetime. Okay? Now, the reason why we're telling this story today, like, it's a discomfort for the lobster which causes the lobster to grow. Okay? So the discomfort of the shell and going through that pressure and that pressure the lobster goes through, that's what forces the lobster to grow. Because without the discomfort, it would stay small. It would stay within its comfort zone. And that's what we talked about yesterday with David Goggins, and that's what we're going to carry on talking about today. Like, it's just a metaphor, the shell is a metaphor for a comfort zone, okay? Now, this is a comfort zone, you might have seen it, like, we've got a comfort zone here, and inside the comfort zone, it's obviously comfort. And comfort means safety. So it feels really, really nice inside the comfort zone. Outside the comfort zone is a challenge, and maybe sometimes a bit of uncertainty. But this is where the good things happen. This is where the good things happen. Now, if we think about ourselves, this is us when we first start off, and we all have a bubble. Okay, we all have a bubble when we first start off. Okay, and that's our comfort zone. And comfort zones feel really, really safe, right? It's like when you go to a party. I'm at a party, and it's like, oh, look at these guys over there. I've never met them before, but I know these two, so I'm just going to hang around here. And when you go over there, it's like, oh, and the conversation dries up, so I just run over to these two girls straight away because I kind of know them. Has everybody felt that before? When you're trying to make it like a kind of new group of friends, and that's a comfort zone. So when we first start, let's say we started in our first week, what are some of the things that we face which make us feel slightly uncomfortable? Things that we've not faced before.
Street pitching.
Street pitching? Okay, cool. So maybe a bit of street pitching.
Talking to strangers.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't know how upbringings that everybody had, but I was always told by my mum, don't speak to strangers. Is everybody told that?
Yeah.
Is everybody told that? Especially when they're trying to give you something, like sweets. Well, now it's just like money. I was always told that I don't speak to strangers like that, so that's always been new. So speaking to strangers, okay? What else?
Negative people.
Rejection. Okay, cool, rejection. I don't know who's single on the market. I don't know who's single on the market. I don't know if you guys are getting ready for like a Saturday night and you go around your friend's house and you know what, Jack? I'm gonna have the best night ever. I'm gonna face like 15 girls are gonna say no to me, and I'm so excited about tonight. I go to, hey, let's have a walk on a Saturday night. Hey, how you doing? Oh, yes, cool. Let's mark that one down. Boom, that's one. Okay, hey, how you doing? Yeah, you're doing good. Okay, can I get you a drink?
No.
Don't worry about it, I knew that would happen. That's a presentation. Jack, you coming home with me?
Okay.
Oh, yes. And that's a fast night. That's well, maybe a fast night. It depends on what you're late about. That's not good. That's not good. And nobody really opens up for rejection, right? Nobody really opens up for rejection, so that is new. And when I first started, I thought, oh, this is really, really easy. My leader was called Ed. He literally said hello to people. People drop the pants and give all the money. I was like, what do you do? I said, well, this is really easy. I walked into the first customer and forgot my name. I was like, ooh, that kind of hurt a bit. That didn't feel too good. I kind of went back into my shell a bit. So that's kind of when we first start. Okay, and then let's say when we get to leadership, what are some of the things that we're faced with leadership that we've not faced with before? Some things that might be outside the comfort zone.
Territory.
Okay, cool. You guys alright? Do we need to talk about? Okay, so that was like Dr. Phil. Okay, so territory. Ride outs. Okay, ride outs.
You're responsible for someone else's result as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a bit of pressure on somebody else's results, not just yourself. Is that becoming a mother or father straight away? It's like, okay.
Public speaking.
So public speaking, yeah? Yeah, public speaking. It's the #1 biggest fear in the world. Like behind falling out of planes and behind spiders and behind dogs as well at the same time, believe it or not. So it's the biggest fear that there actually is. By the way, that's not your problem. It's not your problem. It's just that in school one day you seen little Jimmy stand up to do like a little performance in front of everybody, and he didn't do so good, and everybody laughed. And you're like, ooh, I'm not going to be Jimmy. So it's not your fault. It's just the kind of nature of what we're raised in. Okay. So then we get good at that one, and then we get comfortable with this, and then things might grow further from there. So maybe then it's more recruitment. I was speaking to Beck about this morning. That's another comfort zone to be pushed out of comfort zones. Now maybe it's like training people, maybe it's crew development, whatever it may be from there. And what will happen is you'll get comfortable, your comfort zone will grow further, then you get comfortable with these and it'll grow further, then you get comfortable with these and then it'll grow further from there. Now, we always have option B. Option B is always on the cards, and that's to take the Valium. Okay? Now option B comes in two forms. So option B, taking the Valium, could come from our family and friends. It could come from our family and friends. Now, to be fair, like our family and friends want us to do well. So where do our family and friends want us to live? Apart from in Brighton, where do our family and friends want us to live?
At home.
Comfort zone. They want us to live in the comfort zone. Why do they want us to live in the comfort zone?
Because you're safe.
Because it's safe, right? And it's safe, and they care for you. And hopefully when you guys are older and you have siblings or kids or whatever it may be that you have, hopefully you want them to be safe as well at the same time. So that's natural. They want you to live here. They want you to be nice and safe. Okay? We also have the other form of value that comes from ourselves. The value that we give ourselves is sometimes kind of playing out the worst case scenario. So you're talking to customers today, the first 5 customers say no, and you keep saying Make-A-Wish Foundation, you keep talking about this kid called Dwayne, and you keep talking about 60 chances instead of there's 10 chances, and then you, oh my God, that's happened over the first 5 customers, that means I'm never going to pick up back for kids. I'm never going to be able to pick up back for kids. So you kind of play out the worst case scenario. It's sometimes for excuses, or sometimes from looking around at other people. I'm here, Michelle's like, oh my God, look at the tan of Ozzy's shell. Ozzy's lobster shell looks so much nicer than my lobster shell. If only I was as good as Ozzy's lobster shell. Like, oh, the way he cracked his shell up, the technique he has is beautiful. So I can spend all my time looking at him and think, yeah, look at that, look at the swag. Okay? Or maybe it's like the excuse of thinking, oh, okay, well, maybe I'm not growing this week, maybe I'll write off this week, maybe next week. Okay? And that's the value that we give ourselves. Now, in this room, if you guys want to be #1, that's really cool. And if you guys want to be the best, that's really, really exciting. And if you guys want to be uber successful, that is really, really cool. Now, what you've got to do then, if you want to do that, is you've got to take the pressure off yourself. You've got to take the pressure off yourself just like the lobster does, and put all the pressure on the shell. And all the pressure on the shell is just breaking these comfort zones every single day. Because the stronger you go with comfort zones, the more confident you become, and then the bigger challenges that you take on from there. Cool? So it's really cool. We've got the AFK on the cards today. We've got a brand new slate. It's a brand new slate of territory. And so what we should be looking to do as a group is, okay, cool, how can we push it further today? How can I beat who I was yesterday? How can I beat who I was yesterday in terms of the amount of people spoken to, in terms of how stellar my attitude is, in terms of how fast I react to the nose, in terms of my urgency to get into the field? Just try and beat who you were yesterday. If you keep beating who you were yesterday, you're going to become a stronger person from there. All good?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, let's have a killer Thursday.